Hello, my fellow humans. Welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to do how do people view you based on your looks. So this again, as I said on the other readings, I have a lot of channeled messages that are coming through, so I will be having some channeled messages as we go with the pick-a cards, but this is what one of them was, so I thought that was kind of funny. But there's obviously a message here for at least someone. First and foremost, thank you for those of you that continue to support me, that continue to show up and be a part of this amazing community, this soul tribe, and this here now here space with myself included. I'm truly honored to be sharing this with you. And for those of you that are new, welcome. This is a reminder that we are all here having this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, authentic, and loving self. So with that being said, remember these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing down below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all those links necessary below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading. I'll get you out further information from there. You may also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I do hope to see you over there. Now, memberships are currently up and running, so if you're wondering more information about those, there's a join button down below next to the subscribe button. When you click on that, it'll show you the levels that are available, as well as the options available with each level. You're looking at things like customized emojis, customized badges to be next to your name. There's an option for you to receive early access to the pick a card readings, as well as shout outs, community posts. There are going to be community polls only for the memberships to help determine and decipher what pick a cards will be available in the future. And for one of the options, you will have 1 to 2 readings a month that are just membership only. Awesome. So now that we've got that out of the way, let us go ahead and hop into our prayer, and then we will go ahead and get this going. All right. My beloved sources, prayers for any and all who come onto this video, onto this space, and into this place. May they be filled with the highest light and love. May they know that no matter what they look like, their shell, it is just a shell, and it is not indicative of the character that we hold within ourselves, nor the truth of our heart, and how we can shine this out into the world around us. When we live from our heart space, people get to experience a deeper part of us that maybe we've hidden away from for a long time, or maybe we've tried to hide for a long time because we were afraid it was going to be rejected, or because we were afraid that it wasn't going to be seen or understood. But then when we truly allow ourselves to be authentic and to live from this authentic place, that we are given the opportunity to meet with those who truly appreciate and understand our authenticity, as well as leaving space around us for others to embody and embark on their own authentic journey. Truly, this life is about sharing love, kindness, and compassion around us all. And that we can only do that when we share that with ourselves, and when we understand we are so much more than the physical being that we've manifested as, that we are truly, each and every one of us, a perfect and divine expression of you. As these words are spoken unto this space and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so much. All right, let me get this setup out of the way. I just love this incense. It's like one of my favorites. Fresh bamboo. It just smells so good. Alright, so today, I don't ever actually use these for the pick a cards, but today we are going to use my Earth Magic cards to pick from. So Let's get into it. Source for pile number 1. What Earth Magic Oracle card will help us better understand how do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? All right. Source for pile number 2. What Earth Magic Oracle card will better help us understand better how people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Okay, thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what Earth Magic Oracle card will better help us understand how do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? Source, 1 card. How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? 1 card. Okay, thank you, source. Bottom of the deck, we do have crystals and focus. So for a lot of the collective here, you are seen as someone who's extremely, extremely focused on your journey, focused on the betterment of yourself. They view you as someone who's focused on your hygiene, on your looks, on making sure that you appear exactly as you feel inside on the outside. So let's go ahead and get this set up here. All right. Make sure that's in frame. Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful chunk of amethyst for you to choose from. Okay, for pile number 2, we do have this geode for you to choose from. I don't know if you can see how sparkly it is. I think this is called Angel Light. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful rock for you to choose from. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen piles. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful chunk of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on how do people view you based on your looks. A couple of things, okay? These are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy. Also, you can support the channel further by checking out the description box where you'll find all the links necessary to do so. You can email me for a personal reading, as well as head on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. We talk about anything and everything over there. You never know what's going to come out. And also, I just want to take a quick second before I go further here and say thank you to all of my supporters, my followers, my consistent viewers, those of you that have shown up and just continue to show up. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. I'm truly honored to be here with you along this journey. If you are new here, thank you for joining us. This is a reminder that we're all here having this human experience and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Okay, and also if you're interested in memberships, they're now up and running. You'll find a join button down below somewhere on the page. If you click on that join button, it will show you the levels that are available as well as the options that come with each level. You're looking at customized emojis, customized badges that appear next to your name. Also, there's an option to receive early access to pick a card readings as well as community polls that are only for members, and they'll be helping to choose pick a card readings in the future. There is shout outs, customized posts, and one of the options also includes member only readings. Okay, so I hope to find you over there. Hope you find something that suits your needs, but we'll go ahead and get into it. If you notice that this looks a little different, I only got it set up and I realized that I had turned my cloth the opposite way, so it's not really straight. It kind of looks a little weird to me, but we're just gonna go with it, okay? So hang tight with me here. Let's get into it and find out, how do people view pile number 1 based on their looks, source? What would you like to let us know? How can you help us understand this more? How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Okay, so we've got the 7th house, Pluto, and we have Capricorn energy here. All right. Definitely is someone that is fair and honest and likes justice. Like, there's something about you that just seems really fair. Like, you're looking to bring fairness to people. You're looking to make sure that everybody has a fair say based on your looks. So there's something about you that just screams justice, okay? Maybe it's the way you dress. Maybe you wear some pantsuits. Maybe you wear suits in general, a suit and tie. Maybe you just dress up like a lawyer or a paralegal or something like that. That's something that's very comfortable for you. But it's like people feel like based on your looks, they can come to you and they know that they can tell you what's going on, and they feel like you're going to look at it from a very fair point of view. And they feel like that you're someone that's easily connectable with. Like, if they approach you, like, they're going to be able to connect with you on a much deeper level, right? They also see you as someone who's very determined, disciplined, decisive, someone who's a hard worker based on your looks. Again, like I'm saying, like, maybe you wear suits or you wear very professional looking clothes, and that is something that is like seen as you being very strategic and determined. Like, you're a very intelligent person. You're a master at what you do. You're very stable and ambitious. There's something about the way you dress and the way you present yourself with your looks is that you are seen as someone who just goes out and takes the bull by the horn and does what they need to do. You leave a very strong impression on people. You're seen as someone who's very business minded, okay? Someone who's very capable of doing the hard things, like the things that most people don't want to deal with, right? i.e. firing people, signing paychecks, giving raises, whatever it is. Like, you look like that person. You're very powerful demeanor to you. You're someone who looks like you've been through a lot of transformation, that you are someone who is very receptive to others, but that you also have an air of control and boldness about you that stands out. It's almost like very loud. It's a very loud type of energy, but it's also intimidating, and a lot of people actually respect you right away because of your looks. You just have a look of you. You're not going to take any BS. So you better bring it and come correct. And if you don't come correct, then get the heck on. Right? There's the door. Don't let it hit you in the rear on the way out. So let's get some tarot on it, source. How do people view pile 1 based on their looks? And I do want to put out there as well, just as clarification, that we are tapping into other people's view of you. And that is in no way, shape, or form the truth of your character. Okay? So remember that as we're moving forward. It's seeing you through their perspective, their rose-colored glasses. It's not the truth of you. So, source, how do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Thank you. How do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Definitely like a boss and very successful. Like, you have everything going for you. How do people view pile number 1 based on their looks? Whoa, thank you. Holy crap, it even changed the dice. Look, to Saturn energy. Look, Saturn's coming out. Yeah, someone who's very determined and hardworking. Look, here's Pluto and there's Saturn. It like flipped the dice almost all the way around. So they definitely see you as someone who's very business minded. Okay, like just the way you have your appearance, how you show up each and every day, you're seen as someone who's very business minded. You don't take no crap off of nobody. I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody. Okay, cool runnings. Oh my Jeebus, that's hilarious. Yeah, they definitely see someone who's just very, very strong. You're very strong-willed. You're very strong-minded. Yeah, we have the Queen of Coins in the reverse. Maybe a little overbearing. Like, if someone were to mess with you, that would be the end of them. Like, that's how they feel. That's how they view you based on your looks. Like, if I mess with pile number one, that's it. I'm going to get my rear end handed to me on a silver platter and told to eat it, because we're not going to give anything to pile number one like that. Like, they're going to take it and they're going to make me feel like I am just a dummy. Remember, and that's not your energy. Like, I just feel like you've worked really hard for what it is that you have. I feel like you have gone to lengths to get to where you're at, and it's like you're not going to let any little mistakes or stupid things get in the way of you being successful, and that's fine. So therefore, you have very strong boundaries, and you have very clean cut ideals as to how you're going to take steps moving forward. But yeah, they definitely see you as just a tad bit overbearing. It was the energy I was getting with Pluto here, is like that very bold, very much in control. So not necessarily always in control of yourself, but you do control other people. So you could have a high up position as well. Look, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. Awesome. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse, and we have the Ten of Wands also in the reverse. So let's talk a little bit about this, right? That maybe you're not clear how fortunate you are, right? So based on your looks, people see you as someone who's not clear about the luck that they have. Like, it's something that, you know, for you, I feel like you have a very strong understanding of this has come to me via hard work. But remember, a lot of people don't see the work that you put in to what it is that you're doing. And so I feel like here, based on your looks, people think that you were just given everything, that you never had to work hard for anything in your life. And this is just like, they think that you really are entitled or have an air of arrogance to you because of how hard you've worked. Again, we're coming from that idea of being overbearing, stepping on people's toes. You don't care how you're going to get there. This is based on your looks. It's not the truth of you, right? This is just the assumptions people make when they first see you. And so it's like this energy around you where they're not seeing how giving you are. They're not seeing how cooperative you are. They're not seeing the heartbreak that you've experienced to get to where you are. They don't see that. Okay, they see it face value, and they see someone who maybe you have an RBF, okay? And those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. We're not going to get into it. But maybe you are just someone who's very serious. Like the way that you show up, you're just very serious. Because in business, there's no need for you to show up as your lighter side when you may be in a cutthroat type of business, right? Like you may be in a dog-eat-dog world, and it's really rough because there are some industries out there that are like that. Like I was saying, like you may be seen as like a lawyer, very like justice oriented. So maybe you do work in a law office, and it's very, everything is cutthroat. Everything is like, I have to take care of my own. No one's going to take care of me. You know, to be a lawyer is really rough. I studied paralegal for a while, and it was just, I had to stop because that type of mentality that goes into that is not everybody can handle that. Okay. And like, I'm just telling you, I couldn't. I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the space to be like that to other people. And so it feels like for you, whatever it is that you've worked hard in, and don't say that I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying like some people can really handle that. And that's what it feels like for you. You can really handle that, but you also do it in a way that others feel like you've never had to work hard for it. And I feel like it's the hardships that you've gone through that have made you harden in a way and not be able to let people in. Like you have very clear boundaries as this is work and this is my life. And even though you have those clear boundaries, in reality, it may be that those work boundaries actually carry over into life because you work a lot, right? We see that this has to do with work. I mean, look at all these coins cards coming out here. It's like when people get to work on projects with you, they see how easygoing you can be and how creative you can be and how you're capable of bringing new and interesting ideas into the daily workplace and how cooperative you are. But most people don't get to work with you that intimately, and so they see that you are in this place like maybe of carrying burdens that aren't yours to carry, of taking on responsibilities that aren't yours to take on. And they feel like that's why you don't know how lucky you are, because you're also taking on other responsibilities wherever it is that you work at. And they're like, oh, well, you know, maybe if I had pile 1 status too, I'd probably take those on so that people could see me as better than I am. But it's just because you've been probably asked by superiors to take on these responsibilities because you have the capacity to handle them. Whereas a lot of these people seeing you, they also don't hold that space to handle these hardships. Whatever it is that you do for work, it does feel very heavy. It feels very almost competitive in a way. And it does feel like you have to deal with people in a way that most people wouldn't. So you could be also like a psychologist. You could be a therapist. You could be someone who deals with, I'm hearing sports therapy. That is so random. So I don't know. But it's like you hear a lot of people's personal stories and personal situations. And you have to go and find creative ways to help them in their lives. And so in a way, you're there helping the greater good, but it's not necessarily in the way that everybody else is seeing it to be. And so they think that you're just getting lucky, getting all these maybe large accounts. Maybe you're in some sort of financial position, or you work in finances and accounting, but you're getting like large accounts, and they're like not seeing how you've worked for it. And they feel like it is based on your looks. Like they feel like, oh, pile 1 got it easy because they have the ability to buy Armani suits, or they have the ability to show up in a suit and tie every day, and I can't buy it like that. And I feel like maybe when you started this, you didn't have it like that either. You maybe you bought 1 really nice suit and 5 ties so that your suit that you wore all week didn't look the same. You know what I mean? Like it was something like that. Like I do feel like there's a sense of frugality here that's coming through, but now you're able to do what you want to or live a good life. But it also comes with its burdens and its mishaps. And that's what I'm feeling here. It's like people are seeing you based on your looks, that you're someone who has a very hard, stern face. You're a little bit overbearing. You're a little bit controlling. You're someone that they don't want to mess with. But at the same time, you're somehow extremely lucky. And if you look here, you have 10, 1, and 10. So you have 1, 1, 1, and your pile 1. So you were designed in a way by source to carry some very heavy burdens in life. So these hardships that you go through are something that actually have formed you into the strong, creative individual that you are today. And I do feel like most of you, pile 1, definitely understand that. Like you absolutely are grateful for the opportunities that you've had, even though there's been moments where you're like, ugh, why me? And I feel like a lot of you right now are just like, if people only knew the things that I've gone through, right? If people only knew the things that have happened to me. And they don't, and they probably won't, because you don't give away like that. Like you're not somewhere out there like sharing that intimate information with people. So let's get some, I'm going to do it a little bit different today because we are talking about money here. I'm actually going to draw some of the career cards for you and see what comes through career-wise. See if we can kind of get a better understanding of maybe what you do and why it is your looks. Look, science. Okay, that would be competitive too. Always looking for a new, what it is, new invention here. It says, keep an open mind. Something is unfolding for you. We have chemist, forensics, biochemist, or anything in the field of science. Apply a scientific approach to your business or financial problem. Okay, this would make sense. So if you are a scientist or if you do anything in the scientific field, like that RBF, what it is the resting bitch face. Okay, and excuse my language, but I just want to put it out there so you know. That energy comes from, because you're always analytical. You're very much on a data mindset. Like everything you do, you're analyzing, you're coming into your logical mind. Like and even though you're very creative, and that's what I was saying, like there's this very creative side to you, but it's all done from a very analytical standpoint. It's not something that you just willy-nilly go out and like, oh, I'm going to create this drawing. Like, no, you're like, okay, I need facts, I need data, I need stats, I need everything that can back this up so that I can create something. And through that, through hard work, that's where your luck comes from. It's like you almost find the key to what it is that you're looking for. Look, we have loss on the bottom. I cannot make this up. It says a major phase in your life is ending. Embrace newness. Let go of what was so you can focus your energy on what is ahead of you. The grief of loss continues to be an obstacle in your life. And that's the other thing too, why you may look the way that you do is because you're carrying the grief on your face. And sometimes it's hard. And it's hard, and there's nothing wrong with you, Pile 1. I'm not here ostracizing you for that. When you experience a lot of loss, which we saw with the Six of Cups in the reverse, which really that points to failed relationship over and over again. It points to great heartbreak. It points to great loss. When you deal with that time and time again, sometimes it's hard to just be cheery and outgoing and friendly to everyone because there's so much going on internally, and so you end up wearing that on your face, and that may be something that you're focusing on healing, but that's what a lot of people aren't seeing, that internal work that you're doing here. Look, we have drama. Beware of troublemakers in the workplace. The job you want may have too much upheaval to bear. Keep emotions and gossip in check. So that's a thing. Like, I feel like you've learned to be very strict when you show up to work. Like, you're not just out here like blasting off at everybody like all your personal stuff. I don't feel like anybody in your workplace knows anything that's going on with you. With purpose. It's all with purpose. It's not like you're doing it just to keep people in the dark. That's never what it's been about. It's all with purpose. On the bottom here, I have the hiccups. Cardinal. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn again. So definitely Capricorn energy coming in like a beast here. Capricorn energy. We have Pisces and Sag. We have Aries, Leo. We have Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. And we have Sagittarius energy. So we have instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. Yeah, you're definitely ahead of your time. You could also have Aquarius in your midhaven. And you could also have, Aquarius is coming out. Well, Aquarius is connected with scientific advances, technology, as well as inventions. So definitely could have Aquarius in your 10th house. That's something that's really strong here. But I do feel like you're someone who does things because you know that they have proof behind them. Like, you're not just jumping in and like hoping it's going to work out. No, like, you do it with purpose. Everything you do is with purpose. And so you may just always have a very straight face because you're constantly thinking. You could have Gemini highly aspect. You could have Gemini and Mercury as well. Look, work. Yeah, I cannot make this up. This is definitely your workplace. So for Pile 1, for those of you this is resonating with, this is definitely a workplace environment. We have that being clarified here by the Beaver spirit coming through. So let's see. I want to get one more of these out, and we'll see what your cards say. Okay, thank you, Source. On the bottom, we have Be Peace with Dove Spirit. And I think that this is something that you're really working on, is finding a peace of mind, peace of spirit, like finding how to calm the inner turmoil of your mind, your spirit, your body, like all those things that are kind of like going through it because of what you've been through. And you are working on it, but I feel like based on your looks right now, everybody's just seeing that inner turmoil as something that it's really not, right? They're putting a name to it and not seeing it as grief. They're seeing it as, oh, that person's overbearing and controlling. Like, let's not mess with Pile 1. But in reality, if you were to look inside, you would see it as just a lot going on. Grief, upset, heartbreak, hurt, trying to sift through it and understand it, especially if you have a very analytical mind. To deal with the emotional side of yourself is very difficult. So give yourself some grace and space and know that it takes time, okay? Look, we have Gaia. Trust that the universe has a better plan than you do. Protecting the planet, herbal. It says herbal or working with nature in some way. Spend time with nature to be healed, soothed, and regroup. Wow, that looks like end, but it says and regroup. So definitely getting out and spending time with nature will help you. It'll also help your analytical mind, pile number 1, okay? So let's see what else we had coming through here. Timing. It's all in the timing right now. Pull another card to see if you need to do it now, wait a while, or make a different decision. We did have drama on the bottom, so let's see what other card came out with it. We have courage. Ask what you are afraid of so you can overcome what's holding you back now. There are leadership opportunities for the taking. So there's definitely something that's coming up that's an opportunity for you, but to be brave here and to face your internal self will help you actually embrace that. And so I feel like a lot of people just aren't seeing, and I feel like the reason why they wanted me to draw these cards for you is because you need a bit of encouragement right now. It's like, I'm working hard, I'm doing what I need to do, but it just feels like nothing's really going right for you. Well, there's a timing issue here, and also facing yourself, which we've seen throughout the whole reading. So we have Virgo, integrity, reverence, and service. And I do feel like what you're doing is to service mankind. Like, I do feel like it's to help advance us in some way, shape, or form. No matter how small or how large it may seem, you know that you're doing something that's of service. And it's like you're very serious about that. And that's a beautiful thing to be serious about. But remembering that you can also allow yourself play and pleasure. Even if you have an analytical mind, how can you make play and pleasure a priority in your life? And what would that mean to you, pile number 1? So we do have equality here with Seahorse. I do feel like you personally see others as equal. I do feel like others see you as their equal as well. Like, especially if you work in a very high competitive industry, like you're always one of the best, you're always at the top, and so people are like, oh my gosh, like you're the one to beat. But they do definitely see you as equal playing ground. Like, okay, like based on your looks, like they're pile 1, they're just trying to do the best they can. Well, if pile 1 can do it, then I can do it too. That's definitely a thought process that's going on around you. And then look, we have Coyote Spirit, trust and divine detours. And this is what's interesting. It's like right now you're going through a little bit of hardships at work. Or you're going through a little bit of hardships when it comes to how people view you. Like, and not understanding you is hard too. And part of that is because there's a group of people out there waiting to have, it's like finding that key, like I was talking about. You're unlocking a part of yourself so that they can come in. But it takes you unlocking that yourself so that they can actually receive you, and so you can feel like you're being receptive to them. Okay, and so there's a divine detour here to help calm the turbulent water, to help calm the turbulent mind, to help you find balance again. But it does have to do with emotions. I mean, the water is depicting our emotions here, and that's what's got you stuck in your head, especially with the Ace of Swords here in the reverse. Like, yes, it's all about how they view you, but again, I felt like there was a message that needed to come through here, and that's why it's coming out the way that it is. So your card is River, movement. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people see you as someone who moves on easily from situations, like nothing weighs you down. Based on your looks, like you're just not bothered by the world, but you're like making footprints in the world. Even if for them it seems a little bit harsh, like that's definitely something that's coming through here. But it does look like the sun's about to shine on you. And I do feel like people are going to reconnect with you in this energy moving forward. Like you're going to heal something, and it's going to show people this deeper, caring side of yourself that you have around you. You're actually a lot more than just what you look like. Obviously, everybody is. But that you're a lot more than what people are judging you to be as well. And they're gonna, it's almost like opening foot and inserting, or opening mouth and inserting foot. Like they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I really had it totally wrong about pile 1. Like they're actually a really neat person. They're really good. Like they're really loving and kind. They just don't get to show that part to everybody because of being in your analytical mind here. That's why nurturing yourself is something that's going to help you through this. And it's also going to help you be more receptive to the people around you, whether they're meant to be in your life or not. It's always good for us to be receptive to everyone, because that's when we're coming from a place and being receptive and accepting of ourselves. And that means that we're opening up to that unconditional love. Okay, so this is what I see for you, pile number 1. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a feather down below and say, I allow myself to feel what I need to feel so that I can move on from the turbulence. So let Source know that you're ready to open up to this deeper love. But I am going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. Leave me a thumbs up down below. I want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guide, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming through today to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful geode, which I think is called Angel Light, but I'm not sure, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on how do people view you based on your looks. If you are a returning subscriber, viewer, or supporter, just thank you so much for continuing to be here as a part of this channel and this amazing experience. I'm truly honored to have you here. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all having this human experience, right? And this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. These are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links below in the description box necessary to do so. You can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast, which is just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I really do hope to see you there. Also, memberships are now up and running. If you're wondering more information about those, there's a join button somewhere down below. When you click on that, it will show you the options that I do have available as well as what comes with each level. We're looking at things like customized emojis, customized badges that appear next to your name. There's options of membership only community posts, membership only polls that will help decide the future readings of the channel. There's an option where you will get early access to pick a card readings, and there is also an option that allows you certain membership posts, pick a card readings each month. So I hope you find something that works for you, and I hope to see you over there on that very close-knit community. But let's go ahead and get into it and find out, how do people view you based on your looks? Also, I want to just point out that we are looking at you through another person's or other people's view of you. That does in no way, shape, or form the truth of how you are or who you are. So how do people view pile number 2 based on their look, Source? How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Okay, so we got the 4th house, Capricorn energy, and Venus. Very attractive. You're a very attractive individual. You're very much like remind them of a place they could build home. Right? Like you're someone that is nurturing and loving. You look like you'd be nurturing and loving and loyal and faithful and trustworthy. That you're also very determined and decisive and disciplined and hardworking, very strategic. So it's interesting because you have a balance here between masculine and feminine energies. So it's like people view you based on your looks as someone who'd be so loving and nurturing when needing to be, but also being hard and stubborn when needing to be as well. And that makes you very attractive. They see you as someone who's very luxurious, enjoys the finer things, takes care of themselves. Like you may get your nails done a lot, your hair done a lot. You may wear open-toed shoes. You may wear, just like things that show off little things that you do for yourself, right? So if you're a guy, maybe you get your eyebrows done, right? Like maybe you get cut every week. Like you're not someone who's waiting 6 or 7 weeks to go get a haircut. Like you're very meticulous about it. You show up and do it very religiously. Something like that you're taking care of right now, and it comes across as you're very, very, very aware of how you look in the world. And you may be like, well, I don't got it like that, but you do. Like, that's just it. I can't even argue with you on that one, number 2. Like, I just can't, because you really do. If you don't see it, that's cool. Like, it's hard for us to see our own beauty. It's hard for us to see our own looks sometimes. Like, and maybe not for everybody, but that's really a general consensus. It's just hard for us to see how incredible we really are. But a lot of people here, based on your looks, they just view you as like a perfect balance. Like, you would be there to balance people out, that you would help them find balance with taking care of themselves, taking care of their health, taking care of their body, understanding that, you know, self-love is important. Like, you're probably the person that says no a lot to people because you're always taking care of what you need to take care of. The good, the bad, the ugly, the hard, the easy. It don't matter. Like, you're not the person that's necessarily going out and partying, and it shows. Like, you wear it on your face. Like, you're not... Life hasn't done you hard like that. Like, you don't wear it on your face. You see the sun coming through here? I might have to close the blinds. We'll see how it looks for a little bit. There's my neck. All right, let's... I gotta roll this up real quick so I can shuffle. Okay, so let's get some tarot out on it. So, source for pile number 2. How do people view them based on their looks? How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Yeah, like someone who might come in and save them too. Like, you got a Prince Charming, a Princess Charming type energy about you. Like, you're going to come in and save people. Definitely, like, people don't want to mess with your boundaries. They feel like you've got some really strong boundaries. How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Like, that you're easy to love. Like, yeah, you're good looking, but you know what I mean? Like, you're easy to love. Not only are you good looking, you're easy to love, but they don't really know a lot about your personality. That you're also very abundant. How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Okay. How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks, source? Oh, thank you. Again, with the, look, it flipped to Mars. Oh my gosh, where were we? Where was it? Now I can't even find Venus. There we go. There's Venus. Look, and it flipped it to Mars. It wasn't that far, but isn't it interesting? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Like, that balance between masculine and feminine energy coming through very strong. All right, so source, how do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Okay, got the 5 of Wands reversed. Interesting. How do people view pile number 2 based on their looks? Thank you. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have, okay, so we have the Popess in the reverse. Now, again, what's going to come out is somebody else's viewpoint of you. Okay, you have that perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy, but there are a lot of people who view you based on your looks as someone who's very superficial. You take care of your looks, you take care of what you wear. Like, you like to wear nice things, you like to go certain places and do certain things, and because of that, you're seen as superficial. Like, the only thing that matters is how you look. Yeah, look, okay, so I can't make this up. Both of these cards in the reverse are very shallow and superficial energies, okay? Underneath that, you have the Star. And this is something oddly that gives people hope. Like, oh, okay, so maybe superficiality is the way to find happiness. So you are seen as someone who's happy. Like I feel like you cultivate happiness, but I feel like when people don't get to know you, they see you as someone who's very superficial. Remember, it's all based on what people are taking in with their visual centers. It's not what's the truth. It's just how they're trying to fill in the bubbles, right? Oh, I don't really know pile 2 that deeply, so I'm just going to fill in the bubble based on what I'm seeing, and this is what they're seeing. So we've got the Pope in the reverse. Yeah, so you're very attractive. And because you're so attractive, you're kind of seen as that classic attractive person that's very shallow, only wants what they want, won't give in, doesn't give to other people, like, doesn't want to commit, is very stuck in their ways. And with the Five of Wands coming out in the reverse here, it's talking about an obstinate refusal to change. That you're going to live in, like, okay, people see you as, like, narcissistic in a way. Not as a narcissist, but after the god Narcissus, right? Like, completely self-absorbed in your looks and how you look and what you're doing on a day-to-day practice to bring your looks into balance. I feel like with Venus energy here, it is about how we look, but it's about how that makes us feel. And I feel like maybe there was a point in time when you didn't have nice things and you couldn't take care of your looks. You know, like, there's sometimes a lot of us go through hardships where we lose everything, right? And in losing everything, in that, when we finally get to a place where we can enjoy the smaller things, like buying the shoes that we want, the actual brand that we want, and so on and so forth, you know, we don't even question it. We just go and do that. And that's what it feels like here. It's like you've lost a lot. You yourself have dealt with a lot of superficial people, but you're not a superficial person. You're actually someone who is very kind and loving. But I do feel like there's this energy where it's like people really believe that the way we look, right? If we are a certain way or we have a certain look about us, we dress a certain way, that's going to give us popularity and fame. And that's the hope that they're relying on, is that you, based on your looks, are fulfilling that for them. Like, oh, pile two's got it. Like, they're really handsome, or they're really sexy, or they're really pretty, and they're really beautiful. And they've got it for us. But, you know, with all that beauty and good looks, it must come with the cost where they're really self-absorbed. They don't care about others. They don't care about what's going on with others. They're never going to change that because they know they've got it going on. And they don't want to get involved with anybody because, you know, it's like, this feels like Glamorama energy to me. Like, you know, she'll never fall in love with anyone because ain't nobody good enough. Like, it's a song by Bryce Vine. So if you check it out. But that's the thing. It's like, this is like you going and doing what you want to feel good so that you can go out and do what you need to and not feel like you have to hide yourself or anything like that, but that you can stand out. And because of that, like, people see you when they don't know you. Again, this is all based on your looks. And they see you as someone who's very shallow. So you may wear form-fitting clothes. You may show off your body a little bit. You may wear Jordans. I don't know, like, just name brands. Like, maybe you've got some Gucci bags or some Louis Vuitton bags or something like that. Or maybe you are someone who just buys one style of clothes and that's what you wear, you know? Like, maybe you go and shop, I don't know, Lululemon. Yeah, this place is actually, a lot of people shop there and it's like, that place is kind of crazy for me. But it's this energy, it's like, because of the way you dress, and that's what it's coming down to. It's the way you dress, right? And it's like the fact that, like I said, if you're a guy, you go and get your hair cut every week. People are like, oh, only people who are worried about their looks do stuff like that. And it's not that you're necessarily worried about your looks like that. I mean, you may have fought that, or that's something that you're dealing with and facing. And some of you could be really worried about your looks like that, you know? But it doesn't make you shallow. It's like, I just want you to know, like, that's not what makes you shallow. Like, shallow is not caring about other people. And I feel like you do actually care about other people, because I feel like a lot of you are empaths and you don't want to be hurt, and you've been hurt and you don't want to hurt other people. But here you have this energy coming in, like, where people see you as only focused on your looks. So I am going to get some oracles out for you here. Let's do it this way. It's kind of been a little bit different for the piles, so you're not all going to get the same. Yeah, you're not all going to get the same oracle cards, but we did have hair flip over here. Number 31 with cycles. Like, this is a societal construct. And honestly, pile 2, like, you fit the belief. Like, you could be a model in a magazine, and that's the belief that people are bringing to it. So, like, really that cliche belief, like, oh, they got it going on. They've got everything easy for them. Like, they can act however they want. And it's like, not that you're even acting any one certain way, shape, or form. It's just that they really believe that that's, you walk in and you get to act however you want because you look the way you look. And on the bottom, we have reciprocity with honeybee. And I do feel like you actually receive a lot of flack when you're out and about. It was 14:14 on the clock. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people might not be that nice to you because they think that you're already going to be a certain way. Like, they may judge you before they get to know you. And that's something that's really difficult because it's like, you're like, I'm actually a really good person. Like, what the heck? Like, why are y'all judging me? And it's just because you're so good looking. Like, you're above average, all right? I mean, own that. Like, don't be like, oh, just because of my looks means I'm going to get treated this way. No, like, own the fact that you look good. But remember, if people are going to judge you before they ever get to know you, then that's their problem, not your problem. And that has nothing to do with you. Like, they're just not ready to see someone like you and see them as also a good person. Sometimes that just, like, doesn't compute for people. Like, we have sextile on the bottom, a combination of tension and flow, potential in a rewarding situation. So a lot of these people are actually teaching you what you don't want in your life. And through that, you're actually going to be able to call in your soul tribe based on that. So let's get one of these. Okay. Co-create with spirit. We have crow spirit. I also feel like these are messages that are coming to you. I do feel like this is confirmation. Like, maybe you've been wondering, are people treating me a certain way? And this could be a confirmation for you to listen to your intuition. Like, source is going to take you to where you need to be at. Look, I cannot make this stuff up. We have You're Never Alone, number 42. And look, they're in the shape of a heart, the otter spirit here. Like, it's time for you to find balance within yourself so that you can call in your soul tribe. What's behind that? Spirit has your back. Yeah, exactly. Like, right now, it may be a very lonely period for you, and you're wondering, like, oh, is this how it's always going to be just because I look the way I look? Like, I don't, you know, like, I didn't make myself look this way. No, like, that's just, you were created that way for a purpose, and owning that will help you. So because it is all based on your looks, I'm going to get some Pantha, and I'm going to get the Yin Yang cards out today and see if it kind of gives us a deeper meaning as to what's coming through. Look, we have Libra energy coming out here. Consideration, fairness, and harmony. Like, people feel like when they see you, it's not fair. Ooh, they did not want me to tell you that. Yeah, they see it's like, oh, well, if I were to ever even be semi-close to what pile 2 has, like, I would have to go through great hoops to get there. Like, they'd have to get work done or surgery done. And I feel like it's like you're probably one of those people who's really humble about yourself and your looks. It's like you just don't see yourself that way. It's like you see yourself as more than your looks because, hello, you are more than your looks, right? And then we have Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. You may very well have Pisces and Venus. You know, definitely check that out. It could have Libra and Venus as well. But definitely Venus energy here. Like, your Venus is kind of like your looks. And Pisces and Venus is definitely a very unusual look. It's a very attractive look to a lot of people. And so that's something, it just feels like people are like, well, if I had it like pile 2, like, I wouldn't have to worry about the things that are going on in my life. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, they still have, it's just because you have good looks doesn't mean that you don't experience the hardships that are life, right? Like, you do. Okay. Thank you. Let's get a few more out here. Okay, we want that one. On the bottom of the deck, we have control tactics. And I do feel like some people are trying to paint you as some way, shape, or form, as in a way to make you feel bad. So they could be giving you the evil eye. They could be sending harsh energy your way and thinking that, oh my gosh, like, you know, just that this really feels jealous. This is like how people view you. It's more about how they feel about you. I feel like this is a message from Source saying, like, they just really feel jealous about you because you look the way you look. And again, I just want to reiterate for you, pile 2, like, that is not your problem. That is their problem. So look, we have accident. Yeah, danger, caution, and injury. So this is that feeling again, like maybe somebody's sending you like the evil eye. They're like trying to cast negative thoughts on you. Not everybody understands that when they're thinking bad thoughts about someone, that's actually sending them negative energy. Not everybody knows that. So we do have eternal love here. Eternity, consistency, and soulmate. So I feel like these people really think like you're already in love with somebody, you have the love of your life, and some of you may, and that might be adding to their jealousy here, but it's like they think like if they looked like you that they would have the love of their life and they wouldn't be struggling in the love department. And then we have blessings here, fulfillment, well-being, and enlightenment. Yeah, so based on your looks, people really feel like they would be fulfilled if they looked like you. Like that's what enlightenment is. Really, enlightenment is so much more than that. Like we have 50 and then 23, which is 5. So definitely a very uncomfortable place. And I feel like the reason you're so good looking and so beautiful, so handsome, whatever it is, you just are such a beautiful person. And the reason being is because you're actually sent to help people heal from that idea that models and magazines and all that stuff is actually really false. Like that's not real life. And you're an embodiment of that. Like you look like that, but you don't live like that. Yeah, gain, cultivation, profit, and conclusion. So I do feel like they think that you have everything to gain in life, that you've never had to go through anything difficult based on your looks. And that is never, ever true. I'm just going to say sweet dream, satisfaction, comfortable, and lazy day. Yeah, they definitely feel like you sleep easy at night knowing that you look as good as you do. Such a trip. Like we have self-worth and expectations. So this to me is this energy of them expecting that, oh my gosh, if I looked like pile number 2, I would have self-worth too. I would feel good enough. But I actually feel like this is something that you may struggle with a lot. Like it would not surprise me if you've really struggled with your own self-worth, your identity as well, because maybe you've always been made to think that it was about your looks. And so not really understanding your true identity could be something that you struggle with a lot. So we do have celebration, gifts, and abundance. Yeah, so a lot of people really feel like this is a gift that you need to celebrate all the time. And that's what real abundance is based on your looks. Like, look at these. I mean, they're positive cards, but the connotation behind them is not, right? Like, how people are viewing you based on your looks. It's not. It's, like, just basically jealousy driven by wanting something that another person doesn't have, or they think that another person might have. Yeah, we have home, family, and commitment. So this is the thing. Like, people really believe if they looked like you, that they would have this home life. They would have everything that they've ever wanted, which is love in their life. Right? And again, it's like you're a nurturing person. We have that coming up here. So there are a lot of people who see you as a very nurturing and kind, loving person. 1 second. Sorry. The dog wanted on the couch and she's just not as she once was. She needs help. So I went and helped her on the couch. But it's like they really think that you're this nurturing person and that you're this balanced person, but it's almost like also with the balance of masculine and feminine here, whichever you fall under, whatever you identify with, okay? It's like they feel like if they were in your position with how you look, that they too would have this balance of having the love of their life. Right? Like they would have everything to gain from being in this situation with you, not honoring or understanding that you too might have and experience deep struggles. So they just really feel like you have had everything handed to you on a silver platter because of your looks. And that's based on your looks. So let's see what your card is here. Lotus flower unfoldment. Excuse me. And I feel like this is Source just showing you like you've had to go through it to become who you are. You know, a lotus flower has to go through mud in order to grow into the beautiful flower that it is. It's very symbolic of life, right? Like difficulties, hardships, and misunderstandings, and cloudiness, and not understanding ourselves, not seeing ourselves. And I feel like that's something you absolutely have struggled with here. And a lot of people who see you and judge you based on your looks, like they don't understand nor even want to open up to the possibility that you have actually lived a human life. Because there's this misunderstanding that when you look the way you look, that you don't actually have to deal with the things that normal people deal with. And at the end of the day, what they're not opening up to the fact is that you too are having the human experience just like everyone else. Which means that you very much deal with the same things that everybody else deals with. And so this is Source saying, like, you're unfolding right now. And I feel like this is something that's bringing you into a very powerful state because you're beginning to understand the truth of yourself. And you may have struggled with self-love a lot in your life, and because this judgment, I feel like this probably is nothing new to you, this reading. I feel like this is something that maybe you've dealt with for quite a while in your life, and it's like that's just kind of confirmation for you that self-love is the most important thing, to see your worth and that you are so much more than you look like. And you really are. Like, I'm honored to have been able to connect with your energy, because you really do hold a very beautiful, amazing energy. And you know what's awesome about that, pile two, is that not only are you beautiful, you have a beautiful heart, which is rare. And it's beautiful because you're amazing inside and out. And that's something that should be celebrated. So celebrate yourself for that, okay? I love you. And I hope this resonates. If you feel like it was your reading, do we have a lotus flower emoji? I think there is one. Leave the lotus flower emoji down below and say, I allow myself to celebrate all my ups and downs, knowing that I'm worthy of being loved as the person I am. So you let Source know that you're calling in a higher vibrational type of energy. Leave me a thumbs up, but I am going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful rock, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on how do people view you based on your looks. And if you are a returning viewer, subscriber, supporter, and watcher, thank you so much for continuing to show up and be a part of this amazing tribe. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we are all here having this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, authentic, and loving self. Keeping in mind these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links necessary below in the description box, where you can email me for personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. We talk about anything and everything over there, and I really do hope to see you there. Memberships are now live, so if you're wondering more information about memberships, there's a join button down below next to where the subscribe button is or used to be. If you click on that, it will show you the levels I have available, as well as the options that come with each level. We're talking about customized emojis that you get to use, customized badges that show up next to your name. There's membership-only community polls where you'll help decipher the next readings that come up on the channel. There's community-only posts and memberships. There's an option where you get early access to pick a card readings. And there's also a level where you will get a few readings each month that are membership-only readings. So with that being said, let us go ahead and get into it and find out how do people view you based on your looks. And I do quickly want to put in here that we are connecting with how other people see you through their rose-colored glasses. Whatever comes out today, just remember that it is in no way, shape, or form the truth of your character, okay? So, Source, how do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? What would you like to tell us, Source? How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? Okay, so we've got the 9th house, we have Aries energy, and we have Uranus. So honestly, I feel like the main thing that's coming through here is that a lot of people feel like you've changed your looks a lot, or like you do change your looks a lot. You may get really bored with style. Right? And so you may be switching it up a lot. Like you always got to be doing something different, always have on different types of clothes. Maybe you change your hair a lot. But it does feel like you're always doing sudden changes from day to day, from week to week. My nose is itching like crazy. You're also very eccentric with your looks. So you could have very different type of hairstyles from people. Like you like it wild, right? I am seeing a wild mane. Like maybe you have an afro. Maybe you have like really long hair that's just really wild and unkept, but you like it like that. It's not that you don't brush it or anything. Like maybe you just have really curly hair that's just hard to keep. You don't go out of your way to straighten it. If you're a guy, like your hair is short and it's just kind of like bedhead look, like just kind of like eccentric, like just kind of out there. Like it's good for you. It's a good style for you, but that's something people see you as eccentric. Also, there's an energy coming in here, especially with Aryan energy, that they see you as a leader, but they also see you as somewhat aggressive and kind of like abrasive. And that you're seen as someone who travels a lot, so people may see you speak multiple languages. They may hear you talk about some of your travels, or you just really look like someone who's really worldly, like you've been around the block, you've done a lot of things, like you have really experienced the world by its truest form, and that you're very passionate about what you do. Right? Also, we do have higher education here, like you're someone who's very religious, or you look like someone who's very spiritual, who's really wise, who does things a little bit unorthodox here, that you're very brave and direct and fearless, but you can also be very self-centered and aggressive. Aggressive keeps showing up, like you're going to war, like you have to fight for your right to be who you are. Why did I hear that song right now? I have to fight for the right to party. So, like, it's like you have to fight for your right just to be who you are. And, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like that energy. It's like whatever you believe or wherever you go, like, people really see you based on your looks as someone who has to fight to be it, to fit in, or to be seen, or to be understood. Just because I just really feel like you don't dress or do the same things like everyone else. Like you don't, you could be just showing up in some pajama pants and a tank top every day, or yoga pants and, sports bra. You could be out in workout shorts, athletic shorts, and a big old hefty big T. Like you're not someone who goes out of their way to really wear a whole lot of nice things. Like, and if you do, it's just like, you're just constantly changing it up all the time. Like, no one can pinpoint you. So if all they know you is based on your looks, like, no one can pinpoint you. Let's get some tarot on it, though, Source. How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? We're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll see what comes through. So, Source, how do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? Always has opportunities. Like, it's odd. It's like they see you as someone who doesn't do things like normal, but you somehow always manage to have opportunities. So I feel like a lot of people see you interact with others, and they see you like bring a sense of healing to others, and that maybe you're greedy. Like that's why like you don't dress nice, like you're just hoarding money or something, like penny pinching just so you can hoard your money. That's so funny. Okay, so Source, how do people view pile number 3 based on their looks? Like, it's just, to me, these readings are always hilarious because it's so funny, the energy that comes through. It's like people really build a lot of stories when they know nothing at all, and that's all of humans. Like, we all do it, but it's just really funny to see it in action with these readings. How do people view pile number 3 based on their looks, Source? Okay, yeah. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Like, you're your own worst enemy, but how can you be so positive if you're the one that's out sabotaging yourself? And again, it comes down to the way that you dress. Like, you don't care so much about the way you look when you go out. Like, your focus is on other things. I feel like your focus is probably on healing and on being your best self and doing what's right. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand that, because it's like, oh, my best self is, you know, me being dressed to the nines, like I'm going to the club, and really I'm just going to the grocery store. You know, like the whole Walmart joke, like people be going to Walmart dressing like they're going to the club, you know, like that. Like a lot of people really believe that, you know, and I don't feel like that's really you. I feel like you just like to be comfortable wherever you go. Yeah, we have the 3 of coins in the reverse. Like, you're the heartbreaker. I'm hearing that song, Heartbreaker. What is that, Pat Benatar who sings that? I don't actually know for sure, but that's the song that's coming in. I don't know how it goes, but it came in, it was just like that, Heartbreaker. Like, that's all I keep hearing, that, Heartbreaker. Like, okay, we're gonna go with it. Yeah, and the, you know, yeah, look, okay, so the 4 of Wands in the reverse talks about romantic struggles, like, you know, being hurt and heartbroken, and you have the 3 of coins here in the reverse, which talks about this dissolution of partnerships. So it's like, you know, romantic frustration here coming out. Look, in the Sun in the reverse, like you're someone who breaks everyone's heart. So like, you look good, you have good looks about you, you're very beautiful, very handsome, but based on the way that you dress, like, because you don't really take care of yourself like that, they're like, oh, that person, they're very like self-centered and conceited, and they're out here breaking people's hearts. Like, we have the pages of cups in the reverse. Like, you just don't care. Look, even, wow, like you're out here just taking people to the mill. Like, what is going on, pile 3? Holy moly. Look, the Hermit in the reverse. Yeah, like, you just don't, it's like almost like maybe they hear you talk about a lot of different things and they feel like you're the actual opposite of what it is that you talk about. Like, people be looking at you like, no, pile 3 don't believe it like that. Like, really, they're the heartbreaker. And I feel like you're the one that's been heartbroken. I see, like, again, with this, the Ace of Wands in the reverse is simply put self-sabotage. I mean, it talks about other things, but in the context that we have it coming out here with the 5 of Swords, which talks about being very positive, overcoming negativity. Like, it's like people are like, oh, you may be a positive person, you may be always talking about positive things and trying to keep a positive mindset, but then why are you your own worst enemy? Like, you're not going out of your way to really build what it is that you want, or like that you're someone that talks a lot about it but you don't be about it. But I don't feel like that's the case. Again, we're just looking at what people are like filling in the story here. What a trip. People thinking that you're the one that goes around and just breaks people's hearts. That's so weird. Based on your looks, look, like you're conceited. What? Oh Lord, we don't even have anything. Like, you're greedy. Again, that energy. Look, we have the 6 of Wands in the reverse, and the 6 of Wands in reverse talks about greed. It talks about not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting things to go aside, but it's like really being greedy, especially in your connections, right? Like, taking actions to only benefit yourself. And so when people see you, they feel like based on your looks, okay, again, this is based on your looks, they think that you're a conceited person, you have misguided beliefs, you have misguided reasoning. Not that you don't talk about good things here with the 5 of Swords. They hear you talking about good things, but their mind, they cannot picture someone who looks like you actually living what they're talking about, like being about it, right? They just see you as someone who talks about it, but you don't be about it. Like, you're just somebody who's trying to gain a leg up just by talking about it all the time. This is a trip, pile 3. Like, all 3 of these piles, so different. So different. And it's like, what the heck here? Like, they really think that you're out here trying to pull the wool over people's eyes because of your looks? What? What? Like, oh no. No. Stop trying to fill in this story, because they ain't gonna win, that's for sure. They ain't gonna win it. Like, such a trip to me. Like, they really think this. This is a trip. Like, that you're disconnected from the actual reality, right? Like, you have a life in the bubble, so you don't know what it's like to be in everyone else's shoes. Like, you haven't lived it. You know what? And with the Hermit in reverse, like, that's the other thing too. Like, you live in a life of solitude. Like, you're isolating yourself from others. But you may have had to isolate yourself from others because of people who have tried to make you pursue things that you weren't comfortable pursuing, right? So they do feel like you have a lack of energy, that you're repressing yourself in some way, shape, or form, whether that's sexuality or you're being your own worst enemy. Like, this thing, though, coming through, breaking alliances, like, people really think that you're the one. So if you had a really bad breakup, pile 3, people have made judgments based on your looks that, like, maybe you did have to end it for your own well-being, but they're saying that, oh, pile 3 ended it because they had other things, like they had to go and find someone better, or they were always looking for the better opportunity or something like that. And it's like, you've had a lot of disappointments, and I feel like people are like, everything that you've been through, they're saying that you're the one that put others through that. So it's like, maybe when you're talking about situations based on the way that you look, like, they can't imagine that you would ever experience struggle or hardships based on your looks. And that's so misguided. Like, it's like everything that they're projecting on you here is actually how they feel about themselves, or how they would feel about themselves if they had your looks. So it's not that you're not a good-looking person. You're actually a very good-looking person. But that's what I was saying. Like, this aggressive energy is so present in your reading. It's like, based on your looks, they see you as somebody who's super aggressive, doesn't take others seriously, doesn't care what the cost is. If I break people's hearts, who cares? But also that you're somebody who's positive and speaks positivity, but oh, who cares about what they're speaking about? They're just somebody who's going to do anything at any cost so that they can seem like the better person. Like what is this? Like, who is this? Who is this in your energy based on your looks? This is what they think. They don't even know you as a person. That is apparent. Okay, they don't even know who you are. They don't know you as a person. They over here passing this judgment on you like you're some crazy person out here trying to get even with people. Like, no. What is happening? Like, I don't even know who you around, pile 3. Like, that just, I can't. Like, that is crazy. Over here thinking that you're isolating because you can't face people because people are going to find out some dark truth about you spreading lies or something like that. No. Get out of here. So many people project such a weird energy on us because they don't want to face their own internal struggles. They don't want to face their own internal upsets. So it's easier for us to put it on someone who maybe we have a little bit of jealousy for, or maybe we feel like they got it easy because they didn't have to deal with what we think they didn't have to deal with what we dealt with. And that's what it feels like here. So people definitely judge you a lot based on your looks. And part of it comes from because you just don't care. Like, you be out there throwing your hair up in a messy bun every day of the week, not doing your makeup because you don't care about it like that. And they're over here making these bold assumptions like you're just like, oh, the reason that pile 3 don't care like that is because, you know, they break everybody's hearts. Like, if I looked that good, I probably wouldn't wear makeup either. Or if I looked that good, I probably just wear whatever the heck I wanted. If it was comfortable, good. I'm not going to go out of my way to show off myself because I know people are going to approach me anyways. No way, no how. What? Like, we have ancestors coming here, polar bear. I feel like these are family members. It's interesting because I got that and I didn't say it. I just kept feeling, I was like, is this family coming through? Because that's what it felt like. And it's like, and now we have polar bear ancestors coming out confirming for me that this is family that's doing this. So they're basing a lot of assumptions because of the way you look. They don't know anything about you. That's really sad. Like, that is so sad, pile 3. Like, it's not pitying you in any one way, shape, or form. It's just really sad that, like, you have people here who are supposed to support you. People here who are supposed to be there for you. That's what I'm saying. It's like these judgments are based and made on an assumption that they do kind of know you. But it's more than that. It's like they see you looking a certain way, or like because you're the best looking out of the family, you know? And so automatically they're like, oh, well, they never had to deal with what I had to go through. And I see them like acting like their life was so hard. And it's like, because whoever these people are that are making assumptions on you, they don't know you. Like, they don't even have the capacity to come up to you and be like, hey, pile 3, why don't you tell me about your life? Like, how was your day? I feel like these people have never once in your life asked you how your day was. This is family. This is close relatives, okay, with the ancestors card. This is like blood relatives here. Never once has they come up to you and been like, hey, pile 3, so how was your day? Like, if you ever mention anything about your day, then suddenly it like, leaves a gap for them to go into their day about, like, oh, yeah? Well, I'm like this, or you don't know what that means. Like, I'm getting this image of, like, maybe you came home from school and you had a really rough day at school and you were really exhausted and you say, like, I just want to go lay down because I'm tired. And you're, you know, like, parents telling you, you don't even know what tired is. You don't have kids. Like, you don't know what it is to be with a newborn or anything like that. And you're like, but I'm tired. Like, I could go and lay down and sleep. And they're like, yeah, that's because you're a teenager. You just sleep all day. Like, they'd have some, like, whack thing to come back at and, like, put it on you. But they don't know you. They don't even care to know you. So they're over here making assumptions on you when it's as easy as asking you about you. But even if they asked you about you, like, they wouldn't listen to what you had to say because they would still be making their own assumptions over here. Like, oh, pile 3, here we come. Like, you know what? Go be your bad self, pile 3. Whatever they got to say, let them say it. Whatever they feel, let them feel it. They don't know you, and that's so sad because you have a very beautiful energy about you, a very powerful energy about you. You're somebody that could help heal ancestral lines within them as well. But because they're being so stubborn and stuck in their own ways, let them be miserable in their own ways. That's absurd. Look, authenticity. I cannot make this up. They're mad because you're authentic here. And you're capable of seeing things differently. Look at these beautiful energies coming out here. The soul. Like, you're in your soul purpose. Like, source is coming through. Like, don't even trip on what they're saying. Because you're doing what you're meant to be doing. You're living your best life. You're trying to be who you're meant to be. When you have people who are out here trying to make assumptions based on you when they can't even get to know you, let it go. They're not meant to be in your life. They're just not. So many people, they got so many things to think, and it's, you know what, it's fine. You can think all kinds of things, but that don't make it right. That don't make it true. That don't make it correct. Right? Like, none of that's, it's just an illusion that the mind is brought up. And when you live in that illusion thinking that you know what's what, but you're never, you know, it's like people spreading rumors about someone, but they never go to the person who the rumors are about to see if it's actually true. And instead, they just become a part of the chain reaction and begin to spread those rumors too. You know, can you hear my dog snoring? She's so loud. Oh my gosh, that's my dog. Sometimes she keeps me awake at night. She snores so loud. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it is loud. Yeah, so a lot of these people are really loud. I feel like that's like confirmation. They're just loud and they don't even know they're asleep. Like, we have opposition here, imbalance, appointed tension, and a power struggle. There you go. This is the thing. This is what you're dealing with here. This is a message from Source. And I know we're trying to find out how people view you based on your looks, but sometimes Source has a message for you in these readings. And it's not something that as a reader I can go and control and be like, no, sorry, Source, I don't want to get your message out. No, I'm a channel for a purpose. Okay, and so that's what it feels like here. Source is saying there's a huge power struggle here. Like, they see you succeeding. They see you influencing people. They see you being a leader. They see you in these good spaces and having opportunities. But it's like they don't want to see you as a person. Basically, you just fill up space in their lives. Like, that's what it is. And you fill up space that makes them feel really bad about themselves. And that's not your fault. That is not your fault, Pile 3. Please do not carry that on your shoulders. That is not for you to carry. This is for this person or these people to deal with. Ugh, just can't. Like, watch and wait. You're going to be made into a testimony. You could have come from another pile as well. And as always, if you've watched all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. I appreciate you so much because there's quite a few of you who do. And it just really warms and touches my heart that you would really spend this time with me. And I just thank you so much. Leave a purple heart down below. Say I made it. I'll know who you are. And just know I'm sending a shout out to those of you that do. But this with the seahorse spirit coming through here, watch and wait. This is Source saying, I'm going to make you a testimony. They're going to watch you become extra uber successful. And they're going to, that's the thing. Like, Source is going to show them that it had nothing to do with your looks. It had nothing to do with anything that other than the fact that you did what you were asked to do. Cancer, nurture, comfort, and protection. This could be a mother energy coming through, with the Aries energy. It could be a masculine. I'm not getting really father energy, but it could be a father. But definitely with Cancer energy here, this could be a mother who's like this, and I'm so sorry you have to go through that. Like, that's rough. Like, I'm even irritated by it. Like, I have a really deep irritation coming through. It's almost like for you, it's very irritating to you. Like, oh, here we go again with this. Like, over here making judgments about me, but they don't know anything about me. This person's very cold to you, or these people. This could be multiple people. They're very cold to you. They could be a cardinal sign, Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn. Look, we have let spirit be your guide. Exactly. What did I just say? Like, Source is going to turn you into a testimony because you showed up and did what Source asked you to do. Plain and simple. And this and that are true. Yeah, so it's like Source is saying, like, yeah, this is true that they're talking about you, but it's also true that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So don't worry about that. Like, the Dolphin Spirit's kind of like that. There's no need to dwell on it because, so it's like, I feel like you went through a really bad breakup. I keep getting drawn back to this 3 of coins in the reverse. I feel like you went through 24 on the clock. Wow. I feel like you went through a very bad breakup. And I feel like everybody thinks that it was your fault. But I feel like the truth is that you had to let go for self-preservation. I feel like there was a deep abuse that was coming through here that you really had to let go of. Since we're talking about a relationship, I'm going to get some relationship cards out on it because I just really feel like we should. Like, I cannot stop looking at that 3 of coins, and that's telling me, like, it's a heartbreak. Like, it's a disillusion of a partnership. So it's like you have a breakup here, okay? And it could be a partnership, but I do feel like there was a breakup here and that people are judging you based on your looks. Like, oh, what does pile 3 know anything about heartbreak? Like, they look a certain way, like they can get whatever they want. We have not enough. Lacking confidence, self-sabotage, ego, fear, and frustration. So based on your looks, people are saying you sabotaged yourself. You had something good. I feel like you deal with feelings of not being enough. Like, you absolutely deal with situations of feeling like you could be more than you are, and like self-worth. And that's not fair for people to project even that much more onto you, but that's also a reason why it could be projected on you, is because that's one of your biggest issues. That's one of your biggest fears that's coming through. And so it's kind of like Source telling us, when we face that and see that we are enough, right? When we see that we have self-worth, underneath it we have self-indulgence, self-worth, and value, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. These are the complete opposite energies of one another here. How significant is that in this reading? It's like saying, when you finally face that and you see that you are enough, you are worthy, and I gave you value because I gave you life, then this is kind of going to be like white noise in the background. It's just not even going to bother you anymore. It's not even going to be a thing, right? Like, it ain't no thing. Underneath, yeah, look, we have alone. You feel like you are alone in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this for forever. No, you're not going to have to deal with this for forever. Like, Source is sending someone into your energy. They're sending your soul tribe to you. Wow, so there's somebody that you either are messaging, will be messaging, or have been messaging. They're going to love call, expressing love, messages of love, thinking of you, and informing you. Someone's going to come through and be like, hey, boo, I like you. Healthy choices, self-love, and self-care. Being happier, love, and life. Look at that. We're talking about love, but how interesting that all the love cards that came out are really focusing on you taking care of you. No matter what the situation is, no matter what people think of you based on your looks, the more you take care of yourself, the better you're going to feel. Conquest, just another notch in the headboard, or the real deal. Actions speak the loudest, right? That's the thing. Like, you've had enough time to talk about what it is that you went through. Now it's all about you showing yourself that you can. And I feel like that's the thing. Like, that's what's going to make you a testimony here, is that Source is going to show that your actions speak far louder than anybody's misjudgments of you. Whether they like this person that you left or not, if you're blood and they couldn't stand by you, that's their problem, and that shows their true colors to you, right? Not the other way around. You don't owe loyalty to someone who can't be loyal to you. Just because there's a title there or there's blood that's connecting you there, if they can't be a loyal person to you and they really believe everybody else over you, that just goes to show you this person will never see you as a true person that deserves respect and loyalty and honor. And your integrity is to yourself in that case. And your integrity should always be to yourself. Let's see what your card was. Stillness, lake. Yeah, so it's like they almost feel like you've done everything to do nothing. Like you're just a loud talker, or like you're the person that's the loudest. And I know it was all about looks. How do people view you based on your looks? But this, for some reason, pile 3, you needed a message. And that's the reason. It's like sources telling you to find stillness, because there's a reason you are the way that you are. It serves a purpose, and there are people who appreciate you wholeheartedly for being you. Even if you haven't yet experienced that, it is coming. Okay? It is coming. You're not just going to be some conquest for another person here. You're not just going to be someone's dumping grounds, right? You taking care of you brings you into position so that you can see that you are worthy of love, that you are enough, okay? That you're moving on to the next phase. You're letting go of these addictions that may have been there, that codependency, letting go of this outdated thinking and the competition that's been present, coming into clarity and truth, so that you can find new memories. How do I make new memories? How do I bring myself into this energy, right? You're going to get there. You're going to get there. I'm so sorry that you've had to go through this. I'm sending you a huge, gigantic, energetic hug. Just know that I love you, I value you, and I appreciate you so for being here. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little bear emoji. I don't know if there's a polar bear. If there is, leave that. But if not, leave a bear emoji down below and say, I release all my ancestors' expectations so that I can be the truth of who I am. Leave me a thumbs up. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. Know that you are so loved, pile number 3. With that being said, until next time, stay human. Bye.